We're quiet for a little while longer, especially West River as we go through the evening, but we are keeping an eye on some thunderstorms in Wyoming that are going to start to make their move eastward as we head through the evening and into the night. Some of those storms may become strong to severe. East River, we're mainly dry, but we are going to have increasing cloudiness as we head through the night with lows in the 50s. Then scattered showers and thunderstorms for the day on Thursday in southeastern Keloland, especially. Some of those storms may become strong to severe. We'll talk about that in a little more detail coming up, but until then, First at 4 starts right now.
Live from Keloland Media Group. Keloland News, First at 4.
Coming up, the former Centerville mayor accused of killing 3 people appears in court. We'll tell you what we know.
And how a wet May is growing more than just grass in Minnesota.
Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Kelly Volk. The former Centerville mayor accused of shooting and killing 3 people is in court this afternoon. 64-year-old Jay Ostrem is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. The Turner County Courthouse is closed, so the court appearance is happening in Vermillion.
According to court documents, Ostrem killed 3 men in a home on Main Street Monday night. Ostrem was also a city council member in Centerville and has a history of working in law enforcement. Keloland's Dan Santella is at the courthouse, and we'll have more coverage later tonight on Keloland News. A fire at a Mitchell restaurant last year has been deemed suspicious. In November, a fire destroyed the Perkins in town. Police say that the cause of the fire was unable to be determined. The investigation is ongoing, and if you have any information, you are asked to call Mitchell Police or Crime Stoppers.
Well, despite our recent wet weather, Lincoln County commissioners are changing burn bans. Burn bans will now automatically go into effect when a red flag warning is issued. It will remain in effect until the red flag warning is over. However, burn bans can still be activated for longer periods of time.
Well, along those lines, sounds like we have some rain in the forecast this week.
Yeah, more rain, Adam. What's coming our way?
Well, you basically hit the nail on the head right there. More rain, and it's going to be coming with a little more than just rain. We're going to be talking about the potential for some active weather at times, including this evening if you're on western portions of South Dakota. Here's a view from our camera at the summit of Terry Peak. You can just barely see Lead there on the right-hand side of your screen, but in the center and left, yeah, those are some showers and thunderstorms that are starting to fire up out that way. 77 in Lead with a breeze out of the south at 17 miles per hour, but compare that to what we've had here in Sioux Falls. That is a gorgeous shot of Falls Park. 75 at the airport, a south wind to 15 miles per hour. It has been a nice day to get outside once again if you've been East River. But again, we are going to be focusing out to the west for the potential of some severe weather, especially considering they have more heat to work with out there. How about 87 right now in Phillip, 85 Rapid City, Pine Ridge and Spearfish both at 84, even Custer getting into the mid-70s at 75, 86 up in Buffalo. Compare that to the 77 in Aberdeen, 78 for Yankton, and low 70s for a majority of northeastern Keloland into portions of western and southwestern Minnesota. So here is satellite and radar. If you look on the left-hand side of your screen, there have been a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings that have been popping up, especially for northeastern Wyoming and then extreme southeastern Montana. Those are going to march over the border pretty soon. So we do have our slight risk for severe weather in place, level 2 out of 5 in yellow, a marginal risk extending eastward toward the Missouri River. That's level 1 through this evening and into the night. And that slight risk coincides right where our severe thunderstorm watch is also in place for basically the western quarter of South Dakota. This will be until 9 p.m. Mountain Time this evening. So if you have any outdoor plans this evening, you will want to keep that in mind. We'll talk about the rest of your forecast, which features more opportunities for rain coming up as we head through the hour.
Thanks, Adam. Well, if you feel like it's been raining a lot lately, you're onto something. In Minnesota, this has been one of the wettest months in years. It's good for lawns, but as WCCO's Adam Duxter discovered, more is sprouting than just grass.
Through a sea of green.
When we're this wet, they're gonna, put out spores.
Aaron Johnson is trained to spot what doesn't belong.
New things are popping up, whether that be weeds or diseases, and we've got some other stuff going on.
More than 5 inches of rain in 28 days, making this month one of the wettest since 2020.
Right. And we're seeing some more mushrooms growing in that
The
area.
BioLawn partner says the conditions just right.
Those mushrooms have been, or the fungus that produced them have been dormant for a couple years now, waiting for moisture, waiting for the ideal conditions.
And across the metro,
we've had reports of dead man's fingers this spring.
mushrooms.
And then you're going to see a lot of really brown, small, inconspicuous ones.
So should a reporter with an Aussie puppy and a few shrooms of his own be worried?
The rain this spring has been fantastic. We're seeing,
Horticulturists like Kate Ryan say you should always be careful.
I would really make sure that anything you're consuming, you are properly identifying it.
And when in doubt, just pull it.
Avoid it all, right? Don't let your dogs consume plants or or mushrooms, right? Don't let your kids eat the plants or the mushrooms in the lawn.
And pray the rain keeps coming.
Yeah, I don't think we're planning on it though, right? I think what we're doing every day is saying, what is the weather today? How do we adapt?
Well, state and federal officials say that Iowa voters should have confidence in the election security ahead of the primary next week. Final preparations are being made for election night on June 4th. Ethan Humble with our CBS affiliate in Des Moines shares how officials are making sure the elections are secure.
The voting machines are being tested.
These tests take place in view of the public ahead of the elections.
And state officials from a number of agencies are making sure election night is as secure as possible.
We stand here shoulder to shoulder with our partners to emphasize that violating election laws will not be tolerated.
John Benson is the director of the Iowa Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management. He and his team monitor the elections as they happen, and they are ready to respond as needed. However, he says it would be better if there was no work to do.
I'm perfectly happy to have my folks sit in here for a complete day and have nothing for them to do. That would be the best situation, and it's happened that way for the last many elections.
Kate Conley is with the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, also known as CISA. She says her team sees new ways for people to hack our election systems, and they're working to stay on top of the changes.
We cannot stop pushing to do more because we must meet the evolving threats ahead of us.
It comes with the ever-growing importance of making security a top priority.
My message to Iowans is this: if you decide to vote in the 2024 primary, know that your vote will be counted accurately and securely.
Well, here in South Dakota, the 2024 primary election will also be held on June 4th.